very different kind of video for you today. One that has really pissed me off very badly. I'm very upset today. This is not going to be good news. This is very disappointing news on many fronts. As a Disney fan, as a Star Wars fan, and as a citizen, it is very upsetting. So I will give it to you briefly. If you guys please, thank you. First, before I get into all of the drama of the situation, what's going on, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who subscribed to the channel. I'm at 707 subscribers. It means the whole world to me. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Please, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Like the video. Please, this one's very important. Share this video. Use the hashtags We Love Cara Dune, hashtag We Love Gina Carano, hashtag Cancel Disney Plus. I am very upset about this, and you should be too, because they're going to come for you too as well once you eventually disagree with the mainstream. Okay, so let's check this out. These are not good tidings, guys, so bear with me for my monotone. I'm just trying not to rage out on this one, okay? Here we go. So, Gina Carano has been fired from Lucasfilm, reportedly. I believe this because every single site is reporting it. And Gina Carano has posted on her media pages alluding to the fact that she's heading over to a non-leftist site in order to share with them her story on the podcast. So I believe that this is what happened. And it's a very sucky situation, guys. It's just the worst. Gina Carano, you guys know her from The Mandalorian. She plays Cara Dune on the series. You guys can see the giant Funko Pop wall behind me. I am a very big consumer of products from Disney, from Star Wars, from Marvel. And I have Disney Plus. You guys know my channel. I talk about Marvel almost half the time. Almost half of my videos are all Marvel or Star Wars. It's Marvel, Star Wars, Disney in general. I've been a consumer and a customer for many years, almost my entire life. And this sucks. They have completely abandoned the concept of free speech. They do not care about the human right to free speech for their employees or for their customers, apparently, because they only side with the Twitter mob that apparently controls all of Hollywood, including Disney. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. I'm going to show you guys the Variety article here. Man, and that you'll notice every single article that's written is in a hard left bent that is designed to specifically make her look like a disgusting human being that is anti-Semitic and somehow against religion or something like that. She's absolutely not. She herself, I believe, is religious based on what I've gathered from a few different interviews where she kind of alludes to believing in God. But also more than that, she's not hateful in any way. She's been attacked constantly every single second of every single day because this Twitter mob has come after her. She's handled it with such grace, such poise. She hasn't been cussing people out. She's been super mellow, super calm. In fact, I'm going to just cut really quick back over to my thumbnail. I wanted to show you guys these tweets that were coming after her. Look at the bottom right side of the screen. These are screen grabs from Gina Carano replying to so many of these people who have come after her day and night. You see, she says, in my experience, screaming at someone that they are racist when they are indeed not a racist, and any post or any research you do will show you those exact facts. Basically, she's saying, I'm not a racist. Check my history, check my timeline, do the research. You can tell I'm not a racist if you just look. She says, then I'm sorry, these people are not educators, they are cowards and bullies. She's being bullied online, literally. And then not just this person, but so many people you can find online. I'm going to show you a few of them. They're like, say Black Lives Matter and post links and we'll stop. This is called compelled speech, guys. I'm going to show you the next one in a second, but this is called compelled speech. So the problem, if you guys are familiar with Jordan Peterson, you should look him up. He gets an insanely bad rap by a lot of the same media sources. In fact, most of the media in the United States and around the world is extremely left-wing bent, and they pretend that they're neutral. They are not. They are very, very left-wing bent. And it's not wrong to be left-wing. It is wrong, though, if you are about canceling people, silencing people, excluding them from the public discourse, and again, getting people out of the ability to provide for themselves. She's an actress, and they are canceling her from all of Hollywood. She got dropped by her, not only Lucasfilm and Disney, but also from her talent agency. She's literally being canceled from her work and employment in general. You understand how this isn't just about like, oh, you're not being nice online, so we're not going to let you tweet. They're going after her entire livelihood. They want to shut her down. They want her to starve in a ditch and die. These are the kinds of people that we're listening to. This is what it gets back to, is we're allowing, these are terrorists. They're politically motivated. I'm going to show you guys the definition of terrorist. So, I'm not just like ranting and saying stupid stuff. Define terrorist. Let's go here, like the Merriam-Webster. It says the unlawful use or threat of violence, especially against the state or the public, as a politically motivated means of attack or coercion. Violent and intimidating gang activity, street terrorism, in other words, from terrorism, or it says other words from terrorism is terrorist. But basically, it's a politically motivated attack, for either attack or for coercion. And it says in the second, I'm sorry, I wasn't even showing you guys that here, so you can read along with me. The definition for terrorism is just that. It's unlawful use of threats of violence, especially against the state or the public, which she is the public, as a politically motivated means of attack or coercion. And these guys are politically motivated. All of these guys you see, if you click on their bio, every single one of them is politically motivated. And the reason why they came after her in the first place was because it wasn't enough. If Gina was going around to people and being like, you can't support this, you can't support that, don't say this, don't say that, then that's one thing and people respond to her, but she wasn't doing that. What happened was there was this trend where everyone had to put, and I say had to because they're a literal gang mob on Twitter. It's literally, they're basically, I don't want to say it, but these guys are basically terrorists online that are going around coercing people. They're saying, we're going to get you fired. You're going to have no way to provide for yourself or your family. You're going to lose your livelihood if you don't say exactly what we want you to say. If you don't promote the ideology that we want you to promote, then you are going to be canceled. This is the bull crap that they are doing online, not only to her, they're doing this to everybody. If you say something that they do not agree with, they come after you and they attack you, because this is the way of the Marxist. This is the way of the communist, socialist, Marxist, communist. These guys, they want total control over your life, and they want the gun of the government at your face, telling you exactly what you can do, what you can eat, what you can drink, where you can live, what you can own. In fact, most of the time, they don't want you to own anything. Marxism is fundamentally against private property. Gina has been nothing but kind and cordial to these people, just saying, why are you attacking me? Like, why? What are you doing this for? And all they have to say is, say what we want and we will stop. Do what we want and we will stop. Change your bio to include this anti-science nonsense BS in your bio, and then we will stop. You have to bow down and kiss the ring. Otherwise, we're not going to stop attacking you. And look what they did. Disney, the rat trap, the mouse house, decided to side with the mob. They said, we are going to side with these lunatics that are out here on Twitter, They're taking all of her statements out of context. They are libeling her. They're slandering her. They're lying about her, knowingly lying about her on purpose to get her to stop. Stop what, you ask? Thinking freely. Stop what, you ask? Speaking her own opinions. She did not say anything that was outside of the realm of truth. What she was saying was she made a comparison, and I know you're going to say, "Oh, you can't compare the Holocaust to anything. You can't do that." Well, actually, you can if there's truth in it. And here's what it was. Let me go ahead and show you this. This person who posted this does not like Gina Carano. So I'm not showing you just people that and you can even see on the right, I made my comment over here. You guys can see that. I don't care if you read my stuff. You can read my stuff any day you want. I've got links to my own page. You can check me out, follow me. I wear my heart on my sleeve for as long as they will allow me to have a sleeve. This is what she says here. I'm gonna use just in case I'm gonna get flagged for something, like for repeating this or whatever. I'm just gonna give like abbreviations for things so that I don't have to take this video down, because I want you guys to see this. I want people to know what's going on. Jays were beaten in the streets, not by N's or N soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. Sad face. She says, because history is edited, most people today don't realize that they get to the point where N soldiers could easily round up thousands of J's. The government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being J's. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? And this person is like foaming at the mouth. Did she just compare the H to being a Republican? It's like, yes, she did, because there's truth in this. Every single day you watch CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, MSNBC, MSDNC, you watch or you read articles from the New York Post, the New York Times, the Washington Post, or any major article, including these ones like Variety and the Hollywood Reporter. If you have views or opinions that are on the right, you get canceled. Not just canceled, but they want to take your job. They want to take your livelihood. They want to slander you. They want to dox you so that these lunatics on the left that want to kill you can find you and then do that job exactly. They want you dead. And this is what was used back in the day. I'm not going to say this out all the words because I want you guys to have this video. I don't want it taken down. Back in the time period she's referring to, with the picture she's referring to, this is what happened. They turned the people against each other. They did this in Soviet Russia as well, by the way, in case you guys didn't know that. They turned the people against the people. They turned one class against another class so they would hate each other and then rat each other out to the government, turn each other in, and then that became the downfall of all of Russia. This is what happened here, and this is what is happening now. You guys can see this every single time you turn on the news. They're either attacking our former president, or they're attacking people who like our former president or voted for our former president, people who have any questions at all about the current administration, any questions at all about what we're hearing on the news, which almost all of it is verifiably misleading. Some of it is outright lies. And you can see this. What is happening to Gina right now is she has been fired and she has been removed from not only the company she's employed at, but also the talent agency that is seeking out other employment for her. She's been removed from that. They are no longer going to hire her in Hollywood. She has been completely removed from her entire field of employment, her entire field of study. This is disgusting. And frankly, I think if you can't see the comparison, I can help you see the comparison she's making here from the history to modern day. It's because they're getting people to turn on their brothers and sisters. The Bible says, I don't care if you're not a Christian. I don't care. You need to just listen to me for 1 second. It's similar to the do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This is the golden rule, but also more than that, right? It's about loving your neighbor. Love thy neighbor. The whole point about what we hear in the media, the whole point about what we hear in universities, college campuses, everywhere. It's all safe space, trigger warnings. It's you're offending me, therefore it's your problem. And you need to be dealt with because you are ruining my life and denying me humanity and all this stuff. And none of it's true. The burden of forgiveness, according to the Bible, falls on the offended, not the offender, because you can't control what other people say, think, or do. And if you try to, through means of violence or coercion, you are a terrorist. That's not good, guys. The burden of forgiveness falls on us. If you have offended me, it is my responsibility in the Bible to forgive you. That is part of loving your neighbor, is extending forgiveness because Christ has forgiven us. And I know that I know most of you guys are probably not Christians. It's okay. That's fine. But this is the mindset that people like myself, people like Gina Carano, that we share, that we have. And that's why she's not attacking the people that are attacking her. Do you see that? I'm going to show you guys that. So there's no denying that. If you guys are on the side of Fire Gina Carano, I want you guys to take 1 second, relax for just 1 second, and come back over here. There's a lot of people that have come out to support her. A lot of people she's been retweeting because, you know, she cares about a lot of people. She's retweeting about these earthquakes. She's drawing she wants to make sure that everyone's taken care of, right? So when there's a major earthquake, she retweets about it. This guy, Russell Okung, he says, teach your children to fact check the fact checkers. Reason being is because we all know they're lying to us. They are misleading and deceiving all of us. We need to learn to do our own research. That's one of the reasons why I started this channel, was as a form of practice, honestly, but not just for political. Obviously, I don't do politics on this channel, but this is where I draw the line. This literally, it is Star Wars news, 100%. But there's no way to talk about what's going on right now without talking about what's really going on. And it's the fact that Disney, one of the biggest companies in the world, has decided to side with the Twitter terrorists, the cyber terrorists, instead of their own employees. Human rights, which this shouldn't be a shock to any of us. Ricky Gervais pretty much outed everybody at the Golden Globes many years in a row, but we've all known this for many, many years. They don't care about humans. They don't care about human rights. They care about one thing, and it's money. So that's why I'm canceling Disney Plus. And I have not promoted any boycotts to this day. However, today I'm going to ask every single one watching this video, consider for yourselves. If you think you would like to be able to say whatever you want, whenever you want, even if it disagrees with someone else, if you think that you would like to be able to say something, and if someone else gets offended because they didn't understand what you said, you'd like to keep your job and at least be able to defend yourself and be like, that's not what I meant. And they're like, no, that is what you meant. And you're like, I'm telling you, that's not what I meant. And they don't care. And they're going to go get your job. If you'd like to be able to keep your job in the future, you better side with Gina Carano, because frankly, nobody else in this industry of information is doing that. Twitter, Facebook, Google, Amazon, every single company that is big tech, they're all siding against free speech, and that should concern you. You need to think carefully about what is happening right now. The media is trying to divide all of us. The media is trying to divide every single one of us, turn us against each other, left versus right, Republican versus Democrat, conservative versus progressive. Every possible division that they can try to cook up, they're trying to do that. You can't even watch an SNL skit anymore without feeling if you're anywhere but leftist, you cannot feel anything but ostracized watching Saturday Night Live anymore. That's why their ratings are lower than ever. So with this, I would say Gina Carano, honestly, and I'm not saying this because of this trend. I've said this multiple times on my channel. You guys have heard me say it. I love Gina Carano. I love her in The Mandalorian. I think she's perfect in the role of Cara Dune. I've said multiple times up to date, before today, that Gina Carano, I hope, is one of the main stars of the Rangers of the New Republic. I hope that she gets to be in that. Now, she's fired now, apparently. They better bring her back. Here's the thing. When you guys remember when James Gunn got outed, he got canceled for all of his tweets. I said, and look, you know, like when Kelly Marie Tran was getting bullied, I stood up for her. I didn't stand up for her character because the character sucked, but I stood up for her as an actress. She just got dealt a crappy character. I would have taken the job too, but she got, you know, it was a crappy character. I stood up for her. And then every single one of these here, boom, 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 boom. James Gunn. I covered the story. I said what was going on. James Gunn was getting canceled. I said I do not like his tweets. I think this is a cause for some serious concern, but it is tweets. It is not actions. He's not guilty of anything, and he should not be canceled. And I hope that Disney brings him back. I said that about James Gunn, who is a staunch leftist and could not be further from my political ideologies. From my worldview, me and James Gunn could not be further apart. We are polar opposites, and I stood up for him. Do you know why? Do you know why I would stand up for him? It's because free speech is a human right given to us by God and supposed to be protected by the government. And our government is not standing up for our rights, and neither are these big tech entities. Neither are these companies. Apparently, Disney is also just hot garbage. They took him back. They took him back. At the time, alleged pedophile. There was no proof of that. It was only a very significant series of tweets that was disgusting, and a lot of people thought it was funny. Whatever. It's tweets. You shouldn't be canceled for tweets. They brought back James Gunn. They've got plans to reuse James Gunn. Well, guess what? He's on the left. So is Disney. I think that's why they brought him back. I've said this before. I'm pretty sure that's why they brought him back, because they could get away with it. Get away with it from who? Who are they trying to get away with it from? This guy. From Janet or Jarin Culture. I understand this is a Star Wars fan of sorts, but check this out. This person wants Gina Carano fired. Keep in mind, these leftists always claim to be so like pro woman, so pro strong female characters and this sort of stuff. These are probably a lot of the same people that were like, go Captain Marvel and stuff. And it's like, they're the ones that call people like us who criticize films or criticize characters or criticize an actress. They're the ones that are like, you are sexist, you are racist, you are this, you are this, you are this, because they're trained to. They're not thinking for themselves. They're thinking in line with what the media is telling them to think. They don't treat any of us like individuals. You can see exactly what I said right here. I said, this person said, did she just compare the Holocaust to being a Republican? Yes, because she's right. Not in the physical murder of all the Jews, obviously. That's not what it was. That's not what she's saying, though. Sorry, let me go back. Accidentally clicked on the tweet. This person's obviously trying to twist the meaning of what she's saying. It's like they didn't read it at all. She said, how is that any different from hating someone for their political views? She's talking about the division of turning neighbor against neighbor. That was the point. It wasn't about about the chambers and the death, the death camp. What she's talking about here is turning neighbor against neighbor for being different. And that's exactly what is happening. So this person obviously doesn't get it. So I told him real quick in my, frustrations, just trying to resemble the same level of grace that Gina Carano has had this entire time. I said, you're blind if you think she is wrong. The media in Hollywood have told you to hate conservatives, Republicans, Trump supporters blindly without reason, assuming malintent and assuming they're all racist, sexist, homophobic, forgetting that each person is an individual. It's just really it's really sad to me to see. She's right. She's absolutely right here. And this person is proving her right. They're just going after her viciously, not trying to understand what she's saying at all, because they're trained not to. They're attack dogs. They've been trained to attack. And we can expect not much more from Twitter. I don't even have Twitter on my phone anymore. I got a new phone and I was downloading all the apps. And I was like, why do I need Twitter? I don't need Twitter. I have a Twitter, but I can do that from my desktop when I make videos. I don't need to have that on my person all the time. It's toxic. Twitter is just garbage. And look at this. Yeah, look at this. This is exactly what I was talking about. Disney rehired James Gunn, but Gina Carano is fired. Tells you everything. Disney fired James Gunn after old tweets about rape, pedophilia found. Yeah, and then they rehired him. And I told you just like I said before, I'm not condemning James Gunn here. What I'm saying, and what that person's saying, is it's extremely hypocritical for Disney to have James Gunn come after, have him get fired, and then rehire him because they like him, obviously. He's very talented. So is Gina Carano. She's killing it as Cara Dune. Everybody loves her. She's great. People didn't like her because of her tweets. And guess who doesn't like her because of her tweets? These Twitter Nazis, these guys who come out here, they're digital terrorists. They come out here for political motivation. They're politically motivated. They're driven by their ideology to say, you are going to agree with us politically and intellectually, or we are going to make you lose your job. That's extortion. That's a threat. It's not a threat of physical violence. It's a threat of, and frankly, I'd actually prefer physical violence. If someone was like, I'm going to beat you up, say this, or I'm going to beat you up, I'd be like, no. And I'd just try my best to stand my ground in a fight. I got my butt kicked, then I got my butt kicked. But you get to go to work the next day. You have a wife and kids you're trying to provide for. You need your job, right? This is what is happening right now. They're going after something a little bit worse than getting beaten up. Now, obviously, that's not the same thing as what happened back, in the early 1900s. That's obviously not the same thing. But what she's saying is not that. She's not comparing what happened physically to them. She's saying they were turning neighbor against neighbor because they were different. How is that different from hating someone for their political views? That's the same thing. She's right. And this makes my blood boil because this is the direction that the entire world is going. America is the last bastion of free speech on the planet, and it's going down the tubes. So I'm pissed. Like this is very, and I'm not playing around. You guys know I'm a super fan. I'm Dan the super fan, right? Stuff of Legend. You guys know me. Like, this is my YouTube channel. Like, it's, this is how you know me. I'm more than just a fan of Marvel and DC and Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Power Rangers, all that stuff. But like, I love this stuff. I love to play with it. I watch this stuff with my kids. But guess what, guys? There's more important things in life than just the fiction that we enjoy. And frankly, the people making this fiction are sick individuals who are willing to turn on their supposed colleagues and friends, human beings, denying them their human rights for a buck. You don't get it. These people are sick. Cancel Disney Plus. Cancel it. WandaVision's airing right now. Cancel it. Cancel it. I'm getting so sick of the way they're treating people who disagree with them on anything. If you disagree with them on one thing, they'll come after you. One thing, they will come after you. Gina Carano did nothing wrong. Nothing. Not one thing. And then they take that quote that I just showed you here about neighbors being turned against neighbors being compared to how it is now, which it is. And then look at these headlines. Mandalorian star Gina Carano under fire for controversial social media posts. And then you go here and it's like offensive social media posts. And then you go down a little bit further and it's like, oh, her comments are abhorrent and unacceptable. And it's like, why was she fired? Why was she fired? And then they'll be like, oh, I saw one earlier that was like, it was anti-Semitic. It's like, it's not anti-Semitic, dude. It's recognizing history in order to show what is happening right now to her and what has been happening to her for months. And ignorant people like this just blindly go on and on and on about what they probably, and I'll give this person the benefit of the doubt. Don't go like hate on this person, but like you go here, this person here, fan account, whatever, is just propagating the lie that this person is, that Gina Carano is somehow anti-Semitic. She's not anti-Semitic. That's not what that means. He didn't say that she's anti-Semitic, but he's like outraged. Oh, it's the outrage. I'm offended. Me. It's outrage. And then it's like hashtag fire Gina Carano. Why is it a hashtag? Obviously, your intention here is to fire her for having disagreement. So we go back here. Let's see if I can go back to the... Yeah, people over here like, you love to see it. Hashtag fire Gina Carano. Why do you love to see that? I don't understand you as a person. I don't understand that. Why do you want someone fired for that? If they were guilty of something, like for instance, let's say you have an actor that goes out and shoots up, a neighborhood or something like that. That would be, yes, that's criminal. Lock that person up. I don't want to see that person on TV. That person needs to be behind bars. Gina Carano, when I say she literally didn't do anything, I'm saying she literally actually did not do anything. But frankly, that's why they came after her, is because they were trying to coerce her with threats to do and say what they want her to do in her bio, on her tweets. They wanted her to bow to their ideology or they would get her fired. They've been saying this for a long time. They just found one reason that they could twist and manipulate into being the reason to fire her. And they're like, oh, now we can say it's anti-Semitic because she mentioned the early 1900s. I'm not going to say what it is because I'm trying to keep these things online. Hopefully they're still online. But yeah, it's just, and I can see that it is still online, which is good. Very, very good. I need to make sure I pull this up. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can get my pop out chat. It might start lagging for a second. Hope that it doesn't. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up right now so I can hopefully hit the pop out chat. Pop out chat. Pulling it up. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm here. There's a lot that I wanted to show you guys and get to, but it's gonna get really, really late soon, so I'm gonna have to probably get going. So let me just go ahead and I'm just gonna say this. I am not, and people are already like, oh, they're gonna kill off Cara Dune like right away. No, I hope they don't. I don't know anyone who's more excited for the Mandalorian season 3 than myself. I have been waiting. I'm so excited, just like you guys. I'm so pumped, analyzing every little detail, watching everything I possibly can about it. Rewatch the series a billion times. Guys, I'm gonna cancel my Disney Plus, and I'm not going to be watching anything until they make this right, because it's not just about Cara Dune. It's not just about Gina Carano. This is about free speech. This is bigger than you realize. This is not just about Hollywood. This is about everything. This is about big tech. This is about our government. This is about the freedom of human rights, constitutional human rights provided by God, protected by the government, currently being infringed upon openly, celebrated. They're celebrating Gina Carano's firing right now for literally no reason other than disagreeing with the leftist ideology. She's not a leftist, guys. Why does she have to agree with you? Is it because you guys are okay with that kind of, I don't even know what you call that, extortion? It's extortion. Digital terrorism. You guys are proud of it. Pray for this country, guys. Pray for it. Pray for this nation. Pray for these people. Look at that. All these people celebrating. See that? Huge bummer. They're like, shout out to Lucasfilm for doing the right thing. Fire, fire, fire. She didn't do anything wrong, guys. You've been misled. You've been misinformed. All these people. They're like, hashtag fire Gina Carano apparently worked, and I am so happy. Insane. Insanity, guys. Well, not me. I'm and look at this. This one makes me really sad. Gina Carano was getting her own Star Wars series before the Mandalorian firing. I don't know if that's true. I think this is the link to it right here. I had it up. According to Hollywood Reporter, a source indicated that Lucasfilm had plans to announce that Gina Carano would be the star of her own show back during Disney's Investor Day presentation in December, but scrubbed those plans due to her tweets at the time. She didn't have controversial tweets. She had her own opinions, and the mob was telling her that she was not allowed to have her own opinions, but that she had to change her bio to reflect anti-science chaos. You can look up exactly what that is. I've talked about that on my channel. It's the Twitter mob. They're just coming after people that disagree and won't do and say whatever they want. Guys, it's terrorism. We don't negotiate with terrorists. I'm extremely proud of Gina Carano for handling this situation with such grace and poise. She's been just kind through this whole thing. Kind. And this is what happens. I am extremely disappointed in Star Wars. I'm extremely disappointed. I bet you this was Kathleen Kennedy. I bet you this was probably Kathleen Kennedy. Probably had something to do with the new leadership over there at Disney. I know that Bob Chapek is one of the top dogs over there. I haven't seen anything I didn't like from him yet. This is not okay. I don't believe that Jon Favreau had anything to do with this, but I am extremely disappointed, and we don't have a reason right now. We don't know who pulled the trigger, but I bet you it was Kathleen Kennedy. She's known for just chopping what's good and leaving the crap. And I hope they walk this back. I hope that they make a formal apology to her for having to go through all of this. I hope they apologize to the people that are out there like myself who are not being given any kind of recognition. Not like I need to be recognized. Perhaps that's the wrong word. But free speech is designed for the people whose opinions are uncommon or not part of the main thing. If you have people that are all going north, and you've got a couple of people that are like, I want to go northeast, or I want to go northwest, or I want to go south. Guys, you can't just eliminate those folks. They have a free will. They have to be able to do what they want to do unless it hurts other people. And when I say hurt, I don't mean offend, because that just means you're intellectually weak and you can't handle yourself. I am currently offended by this, but I'm not demanding you do anything. I'm showing you what I've found. I find this to be disgusting. I'm going to cancel my Disney Plus because this, to me, says that the next person they're going to get is the customers that think like Gina. And frankly, that's me. So I'm going to cancel Disney Plus. They're not getting any more of my money, not my family's money. They're not getting any of that. The merch that I have now is the last that I'm going to buy from them. Adios, Disney. And I'm not going to promote your crap either. I've got I think it's over 300 videos on this channel. I'm not going to promote your garbage anymore. This is the straw that breaks the camel's back. Can't believe this. This is the biggest letdown since The Last Jedi. Just awful. Right when there was about to be hope for Star Wars, right when everyone was so excited about the direction that Disney Star Wars was going in, it was starting to take leaps and bounds in a positive direction. The work that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni were doing with The Mandalorian and all these upcoming projects that people are really, really excited about. And this. Then you want to go and do this. Not good. I would recommend to every single person, check out the Babylon Bee, because Gina Carano said on her Twitter feed, let me see if I can find it. The Babylon Bee wrote an article about her and about the fans. They said, we love Gina Carano, we love Cara Dune, and they did this. And then Gina, let me see if I can find it. We see Gina Carano. See if I can find her real quick. I got to show you this so you can see it. She says, heading to go do the Babylon Bee podcast, and she just drops down the slide. Boom. This was 11 hours ago. Okay. So, and she normally means what she says, right? She doesn't just say stuff. So she's going to the Babylon Bee. That's this. The Babylon Bee is a fake news site. They are fake news, but it's for comedy's sake. They're satire. So they write satire. There's always a little truth in satire, and that's actually why they're known as the best name in fake news, is because they are the best. They tell the truth with jokes. And so they wrote this amazing, hilarious article about Gina Carano. Here, I'm going to let you guys go and do that. I won't read it because I want to direct traffic towards them. Go to the babylonbee.com and just find this. This is one of the latest ones here, February 1st. And this was before she even got fired. But they want her fired. And this is the irony. It's an amazing article. It's funny, so you'll get a quick laugh. But you can also check out their podcasts. It's not on yet. But based on what Gina Carano said on her Twitter, she is going on the podcast. They will have her on, and you will be able to hear what she has to say about this whole debacle right here. Okay? So that I'm looking forward to. I will certainly make another video about that. I am very pissed off. Screw you, Disney. Screw you. You owe your fans an apology. You owe Gina Carano an apology. And you need to stop bowing down to the terrorists online. The left is not just a political movement. They have become domestic terrorists on digital platforms, and you need to stop negotiating with these terrorists. That's not a good way to do business, guys. And frankly, I'm not going to buy from you if you're going to do that. So, very, very bad news, very disappointing. I'll be looking forward to seeing if there's any change here. So if you guys can bear with me for another second, let me just go ahead and check the comments. I'm sure that many of these are actually going to be much more positive. So I'm going to go ahead and shift my screen over to the full screen here and take some comments. Okay. So what's up, guys? Eddie Thomas says, uh-oh, what did she do? And I already explained that. She had a series of, she didn't even refuse to do something. She just simply had her own bio. It all started back then. I followed this story. You guys have seen the videos on my channel. I talked about this. She had her own bio, but there was a trend going around from these Twitter mob losers, these basement dwelling, mouth breathing idiots on Twitter. They were saying, you have to change your bio to include your gender pronouns, or we are going to cancel you. You have to put Black Lives Matter in your bio, or we are going to cancel you. They said this. And she was like, look, I totally respect what you guys are doing, what you stand for. I'm all for that, but it's my bio. I'm going to say what I want. You can say what you want in yours. Okay. Is that fine? And then they said, no, we're going to cancel you. And so then since that point, they have dogmatically every single day, every moment of every day have been attacking her ever since. And so they were looking for this opportunity. They found the opportunity and they twisted the context. They removed the context. They twisted what she was trying to say, what she did say, which was true, by the way. And then they bent it so that it looked and sounded anti-Semitic from their comments, not from her post. And then now they're trying to get rid of it. So that's what happened. Hunter Iggy said, Daniel Ware, SJW is Karen's. Yeah, it is. SJW is effectively Karen's. Now, there can be Karens who are not the social justice warriors. You can Karen over anything, pretty much. Karening is like SJWs, but it could be for anything. It doesn't have to be for some sort of social political movement. It can literally just be, my eggs are undercooked. You know what I mean? So Karen is like SJW, but not politically motivated. SJW is politically motivated. Daniel's Hot Topic says, Daniel, what's up? I hope you answer your comment section this time. Miss you. I know. Last time I couldn't figure out why, but it wasn't letting me open the comment section. I think it's because I had a setting for like, I don't know if you've done any the YouTube live stream broadcasts from a restream.io or something like that, but there's a button that marks, is it for 13 or older or 13 or younger or whatever? And I chose the younger last time, and I think that's probably what happened. So they probably made it so you couldn't do any live comments. That's probably, or at least I couldn't see the live comments because they were probably going to censor it. So I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to make sure I hit 13 and up. That way it always allows for the comments. But I was having trouble last time. That's why. And I miss you too, Daniel. I really do. I miss talking with you guys and hearing about all this. Even though not all of it's good. Daniel's Hot Topic says, this is disgusting that Gina Carano has been fired from Star Wars The Mandalorian. I know. To me, she was one of the best parts. If you watch the interviews, the behind the scenes, the making of The Mandalorian, she is just so kind, so gracious, so warm and loving. She was generous with her compliments to every single person she worked with. And everybody spoke super highly of her, but apparently no one's standing up for her. So that to me is disgusting. It shows these two faces in Hollywood only care about themselves, and they're not people of quality like Gina. Gina is real people. Even when this whole mob has been attacking her for months and months and months, which I've covered on my channel, she doesn't attack them. She just says, like, why are you yelling at me, dude? Like, you guys are bullying me here. Like, I told you what I told you. Why can't I just be me and say what I want? And they say, no, you need to say and do what we want. This is extortion. And then they're going to come after her, and they did. And so, yeah, I'm disgusted by this. And I'm pissed off because now it's like, okay, am I to expect the same treatment that we got from The Last Jedi from The Mandalorian now? Because obviously, John and Dave are apparently either not in control anymore, or they called this shot, and we should be concerned about what they have to say moving forward. How much politics are they going to inject into Star Wars now that the politicians on Twitter, this political Twitter terrorist group, is running Disney apparently? Whatever they want is what they get. So that's what we're going to get apparently. So I'm very disheartened. I'm discouraged, and I have I don't have any faith in Star Wars now. The only thing I'm excited for is The Mandalorian season 3, and I'm probably not going to be paying for that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch it. I'm definitely canceling my Disney Plus. This is just not okay. It's not good. I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not telling you guys what to do. I'm showing you what I'm doing. I'm saying I would encourage you guys to consider what I've been sharing with you today, because in my opinion, it is going to matter for me, for you, for all of us. There is no bastion of free speech left. Soon and very soon, every single platform is going to be censoring everything you say, and you're not going to be able to speak out against anything they tell you can't. And if Disney's in control, then guess what? You won't be able to speak out against them either. So there's that. Daniel's Hot Topic says, I'm so happy there is a God. He saw all the horrible abuse that has befallen me all these years, and I hope he deals with those people. I need justice. I feel so abused, and there is no justice in this world. Yeah, you know, brother, I feel for you, bro. We all go through some very tough stuff, and I'm sure that what you went through was very, very, very difficult. But God is good, and he gets us through it, man. And he gets us through it. And I hope, and I don't hope for any ill on anybody. I hope that people's eyes are opened. I hope that their hearts are softened, and that they're able to feel compassion for the people that they've been persecuting. Just like the way that in the scripture, in the Bible, if I can get, you know, Christian on you guys, because I am. If I can get Christian on you real quick, the Apostle Paul was once a man named Saul of Tarsus. Saul of Tarsus was a persecutor of the church. He was actually hunting Christians down and helping the authorities kill them, lock them up and kill them. But he got saved. Jesus met him on the road to Damascus, opened his eyes, removed the scales from his eyes a few days later, and then he was able to see clearly and do good and actually become that which he once persecuted. I hope the same for every single person that is out here. So if you guys see the people that I was showing you the tweets for, I'm showing you that so you know that they're real. I'm not showing you that so you can go out and attack any one person. These people are blind. They don't see the truth. They don't see what's going on. They don't see how they're participating. I hope they don't see how they're participating in this destruction of the First Amendment and free speech. They absolutely, I believe they can be won with truth and with kindness, just like Gina has been doing with them. Truth and kindness. They came after her. They might come after us, but we've got to stand for what we believe. And so that's what I have to say about that. And yes, God will deal justice in the end. Hunter says, don't forget that China and Iranian what's to depopulation of all race. Okay, so I don't understand the grammar of what you're trying to say here, but I think I get the idea. Forgive me for that. He says, don't forget that China and Iran wants the depopulation of all race, of the human race, I assume. Yeah, they're doing a lot of evil out there. And frankly, China has been in bed with Disney for a very, very long time. That's why Doctor Strange made the Ancient One not just a woman, but a white woman. It had nothing to do. It wasn't about whitewashing. It was about not talking about Tibet. And we can get into those politics later. I probably make it. I think I might have even mentioned that before in a video. I'll make another one. But China gets what they want, and China and Iran do want. They want, like, for instance, Iran wants death to the West. They want, they don't like. You want to talk about people who don't like religion and the Jews. Look no further than the people that Disney does business with. Frankly, China. I don't know if they do a lot of business with Iran, but I know they do business with China, and their government is evil. Ours is evil too. In fact, I can't name a government I trust, which is, sad, but it's true from my point of view. Daniel's Hot Topic says, so excited for MCU Spider-Man 3, and it will either be Spider-Verse or lead into Spider-Verse. Sorry, getting tired. It's pretty late over here. He says, Willem Dafoe has stepped onto the set. He probably is there to reprise the role of Green Goblin. I agree. I think he probably is. He probably is there to reprise his role as Green Goblin. Spider-Man 3 is looking like one of the biggest collaborative projects for crossovers and that sort of thing. It's going to be groundbreaking. But Disney better get their freaking act together, because I'm really upset. My love for all things Marvel, Star Wars, Disney, all that stuff has been just stepped on, and I'm not in a position right now where I'm thrilled about much. Gina didn't even. So Tyler W says Gina didn't even mention Republicans or Trump supporters. I totally agree. She didn't mention Republicans or Trump supporters. She didn't. I don't even know if she said that she is a Republican or a Trump supporter at any point. I don't know if she's like waved a Trump flag, MAGA hat, any of that stuff. I don't think she's done any of that. I wouldn't be surprised if she was secretly, but I don't think she has. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure from what I've seen is she has not, according to what I've seen. But that's not what they were trying to do. Remember earlier when I said, if you disagree with them about one thing, they will come after you. That's what I'm talking about. They found that she was not willing to put her, and I say willing to, because they get a say in what she gets to do. They're trying to make her put her gender pronoun bio, gender pronouns in her bio, which is something that they do as part of a political movement. It's part of a political movement that they're trying to do. She said, I totally support you guys wanting to do that. And you guys do that. Go for it. Totally support you doing that. But it's my bio and I'm going to use it the way that I want to use it. And that's when they said, you're done. We're canceling you. Because she disagreed with them on exactly one thing. And that's what they did. So now they're taking this reference to, to the Jews and to Nazi Germany. They're taking this reference and they are using that as a means to the end from before. It goes back to her not putting her stuff in her bio. That is what it's all about. They disagreed on one thing. For all we know, she could be a staunch leftist and disagree just simply about free speech and be like, just don't tell me what to do. Like, like if you're going to go clean your room and your mom's like, you need to clean your room right now. It makes you not want to clean your room. It's like, dude, I was on my way to do that. Why are you yelling? Like that. And then you're like, maybe I won't clean my room. Like that kind of like, don't tell me what to do attitude. It could be that. Like she said she supports them doing it. She said she supports all of her colleagues and coworkers and actors and everybody doing that. She supports that movement. Go for it. You do that. But I'm not going to change my bio. Not because you said it. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it because I want to do it. Not because you're trying to make me do it. And they were not okay with that. They hate free speech and they came after Gina because of free speech. That's what it's all about. So yes, you're right. She didn't mention Republicans or Trump supporters. But Republicans, only like a couple of Republicans that are in our actual like elected authority. And conservatives, as an ideology, conservatives stand for free speech. It used to be that that liberals would stand for free speech as well. Most liberals who are actual liberals tend to, but modern liberals, they've been hijacked by this progressive left. They're not liberal at all. They're militaristically against free speech. They're militaristically against freedom and choice and all these things. They want you to have no deviations from in your mind on any topic except for what they say that you can think about. And that's just the way that they do things. That's why they came after Gina. That's why they got her fired. And it's disgusting. Makes me sick. And we better hope and pray that they turn this ship around because they will come for us next. That's the way that it's going to go. When there's no one standing in the gap between us and them, all there's left is us. That's why they didn't like, frankly, that's why they didn't like President Trump. That's why they don't like Gina Carano, is because anyone who stands for free speech against this mob in Hollywood and the media and our politicians, they're all against us. They're all against the people. They're taxing us every single day. I don't want to get too political here. And of course it is political. What I'm talking about is in nature political. I'm trying not to get too opinionated here because I am. They're against us. And anyone who comes between them and us to protect us from them is the new enemy. That's who they cancel. And that's frankly, I think that's one of the reasons why Gina was taken down, is because she was such a good example of free speech, and they had to eliminate that. Because they want to prop up all the people that just do whatever they're told, the dancing monkeys. And Gina's not a dancing monkey, she's a fighter. That's why they did that. Daniel's Hot Topic says, so I think that Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness will be Spider-Verse among other things. I do agree. It's definitely got to be in some capacity multiverse, because they said already. Sorry guys, it's super late. I'm gonna log out really soon. It's WandaVision, and then the sequel to WandaVision is Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, and then immediately after that, it's Spider-Man 3, and that's the progression. So it's a sequel to two multiversal type of things going on. So I am very, very excited for that. But again, Disney better get their crap together. I'm not paying for nothing. I'm not gonna pay for it. It's not gonna happen. So then Tyler W says, guess who's pirating WandaVision? I'm not going to say this guy, but this guy's not paying for WandaVision. I'll tell you that right now. Not going to pay for it. If I have to not see it, I'm afraid that's what's going to have to happen. They're going to get their act together. Daniel's Hot Topic says, it's disgusting what is happening in the world today. Police officers are abusing civilians, and when the people simply yell back, the police lose their minds and either beat or shoot the people to death. You know, I've seen a lot of clips of stuff like that where there is abuse, and I have seen some of that, but there's also some really good channels out there that show you the body cam footage, which is much more than they show you in just the news. So in the news, they'll show you like a 10-second clip, 20-second clip, 30-second clip. With the body cam footage, you can see like 11, 15 minutes. And they'll show you the officer rolling up to the stop, what they're saying to their partners, what they're saying on the comms, and then they get out and they show you what happens with the dude from a different perspective. It's really helpful to see those kinds of things, because, you know, like if someone comes to me and says, like, for instance, they go Daniel's Hot Top, if they say Daniel's Hot Topics is a racist, and I go, what? Like, he's never been racist to me. And they're like, no, he's a racist. Look. And they say like, and they show you saying something for like 5 seconds. Context matters, seeing things in context, right? And I'm not saying all officers, I'm not saying all civilians or anything. All officers are right. I'm not saying all officers are right. All civilians are right. I'm not saying all civilians are right. I'm saying there's reason to look for context, because people do not always show you what the truth is. They show you what they want you to see, right? People show you what they want you to see, what they think will get the most clicks, especially the news, who makes their money when you click on their stuff. So if they can get you to click being like, this is outrageous, what happened? And you click in there and then they're like, you know, it's brutality. Then the next time they write about brutality, you're going to click in there and be like, oh my gosh, not again. It's a cycle. Check out, there's a YouTuber called Donut Operator, and he's incredible. He's got a Twitch as well. He's an officer, and he pulls up videos of officers, anything regarding officers. It could be the Chaz Chop thing. It could be all the stuff that was happening this last year. It could be everything that was happening this year. He pulls it up. He talks about it. He's really fun and funny. But he's, you know, he calls it as he sees it, and he knows the industry. So he gives you the insight. He's like, okay, this is what they're doing. This is why they're doing it. I wouldn't have done that. That's not a good call. That's bad. They're probably going to get reprimanded for that, or this, you know, and he goes through it in detail. It's really good. And, you know, but he also calls the BS out, right? So like when Sean King goes on tirades about, you know, like all cops are killing people and this kind of, and it's like, not that he said that specifically, all cops, but like he's a cop hater. He only posts stuff to make cops look bad, and does it for propaganda's sake because he's politically motivated. All these things, you know, you're able to kind of sift through. You can see the Donut Operator go through and hilariously break down all these videos for fun, break them down seriously. He's got different segments for different things. Karens, people getting pulled over for speeding, you know, that like fun, like montages of that. It's almost like Cops. Since they cancel culture, canceled Cops, they canceled live PD. So now all we have is the Donut Operator, and he's really good. So I would go there. donut operator, and that's going to give you a little bit more context, and it'll help remind you too. This is important. It helps remind you that not all cops are bad. In fact, the majority are trying to help. And there's a lot of, their job is to get into crappy situations and try to stop the crappy situations. That's their job. So, you know, like a big part of it is like, I've got a lot of sympathy for those people. I've got a lot of friends who are in law enforcement. You know, it sucks. It's a really crappy, hard job, but they do it. Now, do they always do it right? No, they don't. But they're not trying to hurt people. They have to sometimes subdue people. And, the situation you said where they're harassing civilians, there are situations where that happens. That is not good, and it doesn't get tolerated. People think it gets tolerated. It doesn't. Those officers get fired, and that's what happens. So yeah. So Daniel Gall, what's up, my man? He says Daniel's action. There's a lot of Daniels in my chat. It's me, Daniel. It's Hot Topics. Daniel Gall. Daniel Gall is a personal friend I know in real life. He's loaned me almost all of the Star Wars books I've read. He's loaned me a lot of the comics and stuff I'm reading right now. Actually, I've got one right here. He loaned me Daniel Gall, one of the most knowledgeable Star Wars fans on God's green earth, and he's a brother. So Daniel's, and when I say brother, I mean brother in Christ. Daniel's, I just realized that could be taken like three different ways. He says Disney's actions in this case, coupled with their censoring of content from the classic films, makes me glad I never got Disney Plus. I agree, Daniel. It is making me sick. It is really sickening to see what's going on here. My goodness, there's so many more. Okay, so let's cut off all the questions and stuff because I got to get to bed. It's like 12:30. I got a really early morning tomorrow. So, all right, guys, I apologize. I'm gonna copy all these. And I'm going to paste them into notes to myself, okay? And then I'm going to cut this off. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys like what you see, please don't forget to go over to my TeePublic account where you guys can check out all the designs I've got going on over here. You guys can tell I'm a big fan of Disney, Marvel, Star Wars. You know, even if you just click on, like, they've been really like trying to crack down on what is allowed out here on TeePublic. They've been kind of not censoring, but like in a way they've been blocking stuff. Check it out. Sorry for the noise. My garage door is opening. Please go get yourself some merch. It helps support me out here on the channel. Because, you know, we got to feed our kids, right? So, and then also do your best. Just tweet, repost Gina Carano, hashtag we love Gina Carano, hashtag we love Cara Dune, and then tag her. And hashtag cancel Disney Plus. It is very serious times, and frankly, this is just not okay. So you guys have a great rest of your day, wherever the heck you are, and I will see you guys next time right here on The Stuff of Legend.